Good morning, children. In previous class, I explained about some information about story of microorganisms part 2. In that, I explained about useful microorganisms. All we know that microorganisms are present in any way. They are present in soil, they are present in air, they are present in water, they are present in our body. Some are useful to our body and some are useful to plants. Some causes diseases to both plants and animals. Some spoil the food material. In previous class, I explained about medicinal use of microorganisms and also I explained about fermentation. Fermentation is a kind of respiration present in yeast cells in the absence of oxygen. What fermented product used in your house? Idli, dosa, chapati, cheese, butter and curd, etc. And also I explained about vaccines and I explained about antibiotics. Antibiotics was first discovered by Alexander Fleming. He discovered penicillin antibiotic for the first time. In this class I will explain about vaccines. Who discovered vaccines for the first time? What is the duty of vaccine? A scientist called Edward Jenner, very important, a scientist called Edward Jenner. He is the person who discovered vaccine for the first time. Now I will explain about how vaccines are prepared. Do you know? Vaccines are prepared from weak microorganisms. Vaccines are prepared from weak microorganisms. When weak microorganisms injected into our body in the form of vaccines, they produce antibodies. They produce antibodies. These antibodies fight with germs and kill them. When after some time, after some days, after some years, when the disease causing microorganisms enters into our body, the antibodies present in our body fight with them and kill them. Means vaccines will give long time immunity power, everlasting immunity power to our body. This is about vaccines. Vaccines was discovered by Edward Jenner. Vaccines are prepared with the help of weak microorganisms. When weak micro enters into our body, they produce antibodies. These antibodies fight with the germs and kill them. Now, I will explain the differences between antibiotics and vaccines. Already I explained about antibiotics in previous class. Antibiotics was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Now, I will explain a comparative study of antibiotic and vaccine. And very important in the exam point of view. Antibiotics available in market or medical shops in the form of injections, syrups, tablets. If you will observe in vaccines are available in the form of injections. Antibiotics available in the form of tablets, syrups, injection, etc. Vaccines are available in the form of injections. Antibiotics given to the person after getting disease. Antibiotics given to the person after getting disease. Vaccines are given to the person before getting disease. Antibiotics will give short-time immunity power. Vaccines will give everlasting, long-term immunity power. Antibiotic kills bacteria. If you will observe the diseases like TB, like bacterial diseases was controlled by antibiotics. Vaccines are given to the diseases with the help of, with the example polio, like this. So these four are the differences between antibiotics and vaccines. Antibiotics available in the market in the form of injections, tablets, syrups, etc. Vaccines available in the form of injections. Antibiotics given to the person after getting disease. Vaccine given to the person before getting disease. Antibiotics will give short-time immunity power. vaccines will give long time immunity power. Antibiotics kills bacterial diseases. Vaccines will given to the person who suffers, who are like diseases like polio, like chicken pox, smallpox, etc. Now, next topic, story or discovery of smallpox vaccine. Do you know? Smallpox is a disease which caused by virus. If you will observe in India, smallpox disease will be eradicated. This credit goes to Edward Jenner. He is the person who discovered vaccine for smallpox. He discovered vaccine for smallpox in the year of 1796. 1796. Now I will explain about the story of discovery of smallpox. Edward Jenner keenly observed, keenly means deeply observed, a disease which caused to cows known as cowpox. Known as cowpox. Cowpox is a disease which affected two cows. He observed, he collected blood of cow with suffering with cowpox disease. He collected fluids, fluid means here blood, from cow which suffers with a disease known as cowpox. This cowpox disease caused by virus. He collected blood from cow which suffers with cowpox and introduced into the 8-year-old boy. He collected blood from cow which suffers with a disease known as cowpox and introduced into the 8 years boy with his parents' permission. With his parents' permission. After 6 weeks, keep it in mind, very important. After 6 weeks, he injected blood of a person who suffers with smallpox to the 8 years boy. First, Edward Jenner injected blood of cow, which one suffers with cowpox, to the 8 years boy. After 6 weeks, again Edward Jenner introduced blood of person who suffers with the smallpox to the 8 years boy. After some days, he noticed he did not get any symptoms. 8 years boy does not get any symptoms. What is the reason? First, he introduced cowpox virus to the 8 years boy. No. When the cowpox virus, this cowpox virus, keep it in mind, only affects to cows, not humans. Smallpox virus affects to humans, not cows. So, this smallpox virus produces antibodies. This smallpox virus produces antibodies into the 8 years boy. After Edward Jenner inoculated smallpox virus, no, already the 8 years boy have antibodies in his body, no. These antibodies fight with the smallpox virus. These antibodies fight with smallpox virus and kill them. That's why he did not get any symptoms. So later he discovered vaccines. With the help of this information, so many scientists discovered so many vaccines. Do you know? Keep it in mind. Vaccine is not a English word. Vacca means cow. Why? Because he prepared vaccine from the fluid collected from cow which suffers with cowpox. No. Vacca means cow. Vaccine comes from a word known as vacca. Vacca means cow. Next, soil microorganisms. Now we are discussing about useful microorganisms, no? Soil microorganisms. Do you know some microorganisms which present in the soil helps to convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates? Do you know the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere is 78%. The amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere is 78%. nitrogen is very essential to the plants for their growth. But plants cannot use that free nitrogen available in the atmosphere. Plants cannot use the free nitrogen which is available in the atmosphere. The nitrogen must convert into nitrates with the help of soil microorganisms. Give some examples of soil microorganisms. Here, the soil microorganisms are rhizobium. Soil microorganisms are rhizobium. This rhizobium bacteria belongs to a family like Rhizobium leguminosarum. Rhizobium, Anabaena, nostoc. These are the examples of nitrogen fixing bacteria which lives in soil. What is the function of these bacteria? They are helpful to convert atmospheric nitrogen to nitrates. They supply valuable nitrates to soil from the atmosphere. They are soil microorganisms which are useful to the plants. If you will observe roots like leguminous plants. Give some examples of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants are examples groundnut and red gram, green gram, black gram, all they are leguminous plants. If you will observe roots of leguminous plants, they have some root nodules. They have some root nodules in their roots. These root nodules contain a bacteria called rhizobium. If you will observe the roots of groundnut, we can find out some bubble-like structures known as root nodules. In these root nodules, we can find out a bacteria called rhizobium. This rhizobium helps to convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. What is the reason? Plants does not have ability to use free nitrogen present in the atmosphere. When the nitrogen converts into nitrates, these are easily available to plants. So, soil microorganisms like Rhizobium, Anabaena, nostoc are the bacteria which are helpful to convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. So, they are called soil microbes which are useful to the plants. Next, Bt. What is meant by Bt? Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis. Do you know? This is a type of bacteria. Bacillus thuringiensis. This is a bacteria which helps to kill pests in the plants. This means this acts as biopesticide. Biopesticide means this bacteria kills harmful pests which affected to plants. That is called Bt, Bacillus thuringiensis. It is a bacteria which acts as biopesticides, means which kills harmful bacteria. For example, if you will take Bt cotton, these are specially grown with the help of these bacteria. The affected pest must be killed by Bt, Bacillus thuringiensis. That's why the name given to the cotton crop, Bt cotton. Next, compost. Do you know about compost? Compost means manure, natural manure. If you will observe some waste materials, waste materials can be classified into two groups according to their dissolve in the soil. For example, biodegradable waste, non-biodegradable waste. The biodegradable waste present in the soil. For this, you have to prepare compost pit. For this, you have to dig out the soil and throw some biodegradable waste like vegetable peels, fruit peels, and paper, etc. Twigs, dry stems, dry leaves. In that, you have to fill the pit with all these biodegradable waste. Now, cover the pit with soil and sprinkle few drops of water in every day. After some days, if you will observe, the waste materials present in that pit, known as biodegradable waste, converts waste materials into manure or compost. Here, the bacteria which decomposes the waste material, biodegradable waste in the soil, so they are called useful bacteria. Example, compost. So, compost also prepared with the help of a bacteria, useful bacteria which decompose biodegradable waste into useful compost. So this is useful bacteria. So this is about some more information about microorganisms part 2, useful microorganisms. In the next class I will explain about harmful microorganisms. Okay, thank you children.